Space. It's a timeless place where the expansion of our universe is continuously reaching into boundless territory. It's full of violent destruction, yet among this turmoil, creation presses on. Despite the lack of oxygen and scorching and freezing temperatures beyond comprehension, our universe has managed to create what we know as life. A planet that can safely harbor plants, animals, and organisms of many kinds with adequate shields of protection from the unpredictable forces of outer space. This planet is called Earth. Our Earth is an amazing place. We are surrounded by plants and animals that are beautiful, mysterious, and even alien-like. All life on Earth has a specific role to play in this delicate yet powerful planet. And one of the most diverse areas to convey this is one of the tiny countries that connects North and South America together, Costa Rica. Dotted with violent active volcanoes, high mountains, low-lying coastal areas, and two different oceans surrounding its coasts, Costa Rica is both majestic and dangerous. This amazing stretch of land continues to amaze tourists and scientists, chiefly because of volcanic activity and the abundance of biodiversity. Tectonic plates push, pull, and rub against one another, and the plates that surround Costa Rica are called convergent plate boundaries. The more dense of these plates slips beneath the other, melting rocks that form explosive volcanoes that both create and destroy its surroundings. Its volcanic ash and rock create fertile soil for vegetation, and the height of the volcanoes creates a wide range of temperature, which, in return, creates specific environments for organisms to take root. Costa Rica is located in Central America. It's a tiny piece of land, with just under 20,000 square miles of land compared to the United States, which has over 3.7 million. Yet this minute spot of land makes up 5% of our Earth's biodiversity. How can such a small landmass possess such a yield of diversity? This question can be simply answered. Millions of years ago, there were two tectonic plates that were colliding together. With the subduction and melting of the lithospheric plate, a combination of the crust and upper mantle, volcanoes started to scatter the surface of the ocean. One by one, these volcanoes connected together, creating the isthmus, or narrow strip of land, connecting North and South America. The connection between these two great continents greatly changed this side of our Earth. Many of the plants and animals found in Costa Rica can be found thousands of miles away, thus confirming the theory of the isthmus. With this connection, ocean currents drastically changed, creating new currents, temperatures, and the evolution of ocean life. The collision was detrimental to many species, creating a bridge between two very different continents, where animals who evolved in two different environments could now travel into new areas, new ecosystems, and endless opportunities. A new kind of life began, where old and new had to co-evolve. A close look at the dense vegetation discovers a plethora of life. Delicate streams of gold shimmer in the morning sun. These golden strings of color are a powerful tool in the survival of a species of spider found both in North America as well as Central America, the giant orb weaver spider. These webs can stretch up to a few meters long. Strategically placed in the paths of flying insects and birds, these beautiful pieces of thread can quickly become a death trap for an unsuspecting victim. These sometimes social spiders can be found in groups of 10 or more, combining their efforts in web making to successfully catch prey. But these massive spiders also have a kinky dark side to them during breeding season. The body size of the males are a fraction of the females. In the spider world, size doesn't always matter. It's how quick you can get away that does. They're so small, they look like tiny mosquitoes stuck in the webs. If they're not careful, they may be doomed to death. Males have to be very delicate when wooing a female. A male treads lightly on specific webs, sending special vibrations to the female to indicate that he's not food, but a potential mate. If the female allows this union, mating will take place. But just because the romance is over doesn't mean he's safe. Often, a hungry female will quickly kill her suitor and consume his juicy insides as a small snack for her potential offspring. It's really tough to be a bug in Costa Rica. And yet sometimes bugs come up with amazing ways to defend themselves from predators and have unusual allies to help them. Bullhorn ants are specialized insects that are named bullhorn ants not because of how they look, but because of where they live and what they specialize in. These insects take refuge inside the thorns of the bullhorn acacia tree. Inside these spines, the ants raise their young. In a competitive world, one must defend themselves or face the consequences of death. If an animal tries to eat the leaves of the acacia, the ants will swarm the branches, stinging and biting the threat. In return, the tree provides a type of nectar from which the ants feed. This mutualistic relationship between ant and plant is how these organisms can withstand harsh environments and predators. In this ever-changing world, organisms have to achieve a specific niche if their species is to survive. The famous leafcutter ants are a perfect example of survival with a unique adaptation. They travel in a constant search for leaves, but not just any leaf will do. The leaves have to be perfect. Along the forest floor, you may see huge piles of shredded leaf clippings abandoned. This is because the leafcutter ants might pick up on a chemical in the leaves that could be harmful to the colony and quickly abandon their work to search for more suitable leaves. What is it about these leaves that make the ants so picky? The answer is found deep within their colony. Using these leaf particles, they grow a specialized fungus. The moisture and darkness of the ground make it a perfect environment for the fungus to thrive on these perfectly selected leaves. The ants harvest the fungus for food, which is shared with the entire colony. These are the farmers of the insect world, and if it wasn't for the harvest of this fungus, the ants would starve. But leafcutter ants are not the only creatures that grow food. In fact, if you look carefully high up in the canopy of the forests, you will sometimes see what look like clumps of rotting leaves on Cecropia branches. A closer look will show that these patches of leaves are actually clumps of tinted green hair belonging to the three-toed sloth. The green tint emerges during the rainy seasons. With little protection from the rain hundreds of feet in the canopy, getting wet is a part of life. Single-celled algae starts to accumulate on the sloth and is soaked up into the fur, giving it a drab green color. These alien-like animals have a specialized laid-back lifestyle. In fact, they only move a few meters a day and leave the safety of the trees only once a week to defecate on the forest floor. Their droppings are very important for a specialized moth living in their fur. These moths live exclusively on the sloth. They eat the growing algae, breed, and await the sloth's defecation to lay their eggs. Once this has happened, the pregnant moths lay eggs in the droppings, where new moths hatch and begin the stages of life. Eventually, they'll find a home on a nearby sloth and begin the process over again. But danger is not exclusive to the treetops in Costa Rica. In fact, danger does not venture far from eye level. On the slopes of the volcano Arenal, you may encounter a scaly serpent that could make an enjoyable day in the tropics a living hell. Its deceptive size may fool you, but these tiny snakes pack a powerful punch. Eyelash vipers are named for the obvious modified scales that protrude from the upper part of the snake's eyes, giving them the appearance of eyelashes. Eyelash vipers come in an array of vibrant colors, from bright yellow, green, and blue to more drab colors like dusty red or brown. These colors, along with their prehensile or grabbing tails, make them a perfect ambush predator. They climb a branch or tree to a desired height, wrap themselves around the branch, and patiently wait, often for days. When a bird, insect, or lizard ventures too close, they strike, using their hypodermic fangs to deliver a powerful venom which quickly subdues their prey. Once the prey is dead, they stretch their bottom jaw with a rubber band like cartilage and swallow their prey head first. Camouflage is a very powerful tool that many creatures use. One of the experts at camouflage is the American crocodile. All crocodilians have this amazing adaptation. They are stealthy ambush predators with amazing patience. Though it's rare, these giants can occasionally grow to lengths of 22 feet. These are powerful reptiles, capable of dismembering anything that ventures into their path. But American crocodiles are not always destructive monsters of murky water. Surprisingly, they are also incredibly gentle mothers. Female crocodiles will take great care in picking out the perfect location for a nest, picking only the best material to cover her precious brood. These materials will incubate her eggs with a specific temperature that determines the sex of the young. 88 to 91 Fahrenheit produces males, while anything lower than 88 produces females, though eggs rarely hatch under the temperature of 82. While the eggs are developing, the mother will seldom leave the nest for anything, including hunting. She defends her babies with a ferocious demeanor. Newborn crocodiles are susceptible to predation and attack from a number of species. Mother croc knows this. The babies make a specific call, signaling a change in the mother's personality. She rushes to the nest and helps dig out her young. Without hesitation, she uses her powerful jaws, full of up to 80 sharp teeth, to carry her young to the safety of a selected nursery, where she will stay for weeks and even months. If the babies encounter danger and make this call, Mom is not far off and is ready to spring into action. Many animals take great risks for the survival of the next generation. Female green sea turtles are an amazing example of this. On the coast of Tortuguero, the pristine black sand beach stretches for miles and is not just a visual beauty, but also a sanctuary for nesting turtles. Suitable males will gather offshore, awaiting the arrival of females. Mating occurs in the shallow waters and can last hours. Darkness soon gathers, and under the mask of night, the female will slowly crawl on shore to a carefully chosen nest site, perhaps no more than a few hundred yards from where she hatched many years before. Once she's scouted the perfect spot, the work begins. Her once helpless flippers on land begin to dig away at the sand in a perfectly shaped hole. There she will go into a trance and lay her leathery ping-pong-sized eggs. She will then carefully cover them up and pat them gently to secure their safety against predation, before crawling back to the ocean to repeat the process. Sadly, these endangered species continue to struggle, as invasive species such as dogs and cats have learned that turtle eggs are very rich in vitamins and are an easy source of food. Combined conservation efforts around the world have pulled together to help these amazing creatures survive in an encroaching world. Sometimes nature can surprise us with unique and beautifully strange animals. One of the most unusual birds the Costa Rican rainforests have is the toucan. The chestnut-mandible toucan is a beautiful bird with an unusually large bill. Like all toucans, their bill is the most recognizable characteristic they have. With vibrant colors and impressive size, they're easy to recognize. But their bills have an additional and vital responsibility. Tiny blood vessels located close to the surface of the beak help carry blood through the bird's body. In hot weather, toucans don't sweat the way humans do and don't pant like dogs do. They circulate their hot blood to the beak's surface, where it cools and gets recycled through their body, cooling them down. Although these cuddly-looking birds seem innocent enough, they're not always the sweetest birds in the forest. These large birds are regularly recognized as an aggressive species to other birds. Smaller birds freely give up their prime roosting spots in trees for the toucans. Fruit makes up most of the toucan's diet, but they'll not pass up an opportunity to snack on some extra protein in the form of other birds, snakes, lizards, and frogs. Costa Rica is home to an abundance of organisms, and our Earth has continually evolved and survived some of the most destructive events in history. Yet one of the most devastating events is the destruction caused by humans. We are surrounded by creatures that are an essential part of life on this special planet. As the most intelligent and expansive species of this planet, it is up to us to pull together and protect our delicate home from extinction.